Once again, that was the Reverend Isaac Douglas with The Harvest is Plentiful, our gospel track of the day right here on the mighty 91.7 WLFR Pomona here on the campus of Stockton University. And usually Tuesday is election day here on the Light, but because of the fact that we have a June primary coming up in less than a month, we are pushing out election coverage every day that we are here, and we are here Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on 91.7. Keep in mind, you don't have to wait for election coverage. You can go to AtlanticCityFocus.com, and we have election clips from the NAACP, from candidates' nights, from the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. We have clips and speaking clips from Ross Baraka, Steve Fulop, Jack Schiaparelli, Bruce Weeks, Steve Young, mostly all of the candidates, Colin Days, and a lot of the candidates will be dropping by here. We have our first candidate from the city of Pleasantville. He's running for your vote for City Council for the 2nd Ward in the city of Pleasantville. I believe he's been on the Pleasantville School Board a time or two as well. Please help me welcome Jerome Page. How are you, sir?
I am doing well, and I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here and to address why I'm running.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, do me a favor.
Yes.
And I don't have a bio for you here, and I like for everybody to get the proper introduction that they deserve. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you've done, and then you can go into your platform.
Okay. Well, I'm actually Pastor Jerome Page. I have a church called Berean Church. Me and my twin brother started it in 2016. My twin brother was my pastor and training me through his teaching. He passed at 2018, and the congregation decided to let me take over the reins of pastor. I am in the homes now. I'm in my home. We came out when the COVID came out of the building, and we're now in the homes. So I go from home to home on Sundays giving the Word of God. A little bit about myself. In 1995, I ran for the school board in Pleasantville. In 1995, I was able to get on for a 3-year term and continued on for about 7 different terms of election and won each one. I'm very active in the community. I have a beautiful wife, Celestia Page, 3 children, 8 grandchildren, and 2 great-grand. I was born in Camden, New Jersey, raised in Atlantic City from the elementary level schools up to Central Junior High doing the junior high school. And
You're a Central Hawk?
Yes, I'm a Central.
We'll let you talk anyway. I'm a Chelsea Clipper.
Okay, all right. We was back and forth, right? Me and my twin brother. And my mother, Alfred Johnson Page, was very ill and passed at the age of 45 through heart condition. We left Atlantic City and went over to Pleasantville. Me and my twin brother graduated from Pleasantville High, and I remained in Pleasantville. I'm very active in the community, 17 years on the school board. 2022, I retired because of health reasons. In 2023, I had open heart surgery, triple bypass, left valve replaced, and they dealt with the afibrillation. I was pretty much gone at that time. But I remember the reason why I'm running today. I remember talking to my God and asking him that when I open my eyes and see him, all is gain, all is gain. My family would be very upset, but I'll be present with the Lord. But when I open my eyes and see the surgeons, God has something for me to do. I am a worker. I take every position that I am elected to very serious. We have many, many more problems in the school system. I want to come back as a council at large, council for the second ward to help the school system. They just passed a budget for $126 million. That is coming into the city of Pleasantville, but we don't really see what that money actually does other than to educate our children. There's a lot of problems within that area, and I want to continue on as if I was on the Board of Education, but now serving as a city council person.
Okay, all right. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Light, powered by AtlanticCityFocus.com, where we always engage in civic engagement. And today we're engaging with a candidate for City Council, Jerome Page. I should have probably told you this at the start of the show. The rule I play by, I don't do any gotcha questions or want to sit there and fuss. I will ask you a question straight out, and I'll allow you to give the answer that you give and let the people decide how good or not good the answer is. Just do me a favor, respect my platform, and don't disrespect anyone by name.
Yes, sir.
Because I know some politicians like
Yes,
to
sir.
go after their competition, and that's not the way that, this is not that show.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
have you served on the city council before?
No, I have never served on city council. In 2004, I ran for mayor.
Okay.
Ralph Peterson was the mayor. I ran because Ralph Peterson was a neighbor of mine. We used to live on Wright Street, and I grew up with his son, Ralph Peterson Jr., and I got to know the family very well. But I knew that the mayor was not well.
Okay.
He was not well. He had heart problems or whatever. And I just felt at that time to put my name in the hat and try to run. Was not successful. The mayor got in, and we are here. We're doing today. But I never ran for city council.
Okay.
Because they have the Democratic Club in Pleasantville,
Right.
and I did put in for a city council position,
Right.
but I didn't get the votes to carry me through.
Right.
Today, there's a new system where there's no longer the Atlantic County Democrats do not put primary candidates on the ballot as A or B or whatever. We're all the same.
Okay.
So today, I'm number 3 on the ballot, and there's 2 others that in front of me, 1 and 2. So, but I am Democrat.
Okay.
I've always been Democrat. At one point, I was thinking about going over to Republican, but I came, and I'm still with Democrats.
Okay, so let me ask you a serious question, and maybe I'm getting too far in the weeds and away from what you want to talk about. Why don't more Democrats actually primary Republicans?
In Pleasantville?
Overall.
Overall.
This is what I'm saying is, if I have a Republican who is about, and I'm not claiming to know what the public, to speak for the Republicans or the Democrats, but hear me out. If I have a Republican candidate who's running and their platform is running on cutting Medicare, cutting this program, this social safety net, and just overall in favor of corporations over people. And we already have 4 Democrats over here running for the same office. Why not take your platform and run as a Republican?
Well, when we're talking about the primary, primary
and I'm not talking about the general election.
Right.
I'm talking about the primary,
Yeah,
because you could possibly unseat that Republican and still have your same platform.
Yes, that is true. I think it's because that's the way things always been.
Okay.
Okay, and
fair answer.
It's always been. The problem I have is in Pleasantville, I really don't believe it should be a total of all Democrats on the council seat. I think it should be mixed up where Republicans also take the seat also, because the Republicans are running Atlantic County right now.
Right.
Okay? And I really haven't seen anything that they have done that is against anything that I believe in. I think
Okay.
until I get in and really see, but I could see if the Republicans are running Atlantic County, they have a budget, and the meetings never fill with people complaining about the budget. Okay,
Right.
They're never complaining about. I think what they do in the county, anyone can do as far as Democrat or Republican. It's just you have to have the vision that people are looking at these officials in doing the job.
I interviewed Don Guardian, and I was expecting to hear some interesting stuff. And some of the things that he was saying that he does as state assemblyman are actually things that I believe in as and this is how I describe myself. I shouldn't even go here because it's not about me, but I usually describe myself as a fiscal liberal, but a social conservative.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know,
I
I was surprised that, you know, I thought he was going to talk about, you know, removing illegal immigrants or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that, you know, because he's got the R. So I have to agree with you on that.
Thank you.
You do get to talk. I apologize. If you're
Nope.
just tuning in, you're listening to The Light here on the mighty 91.7 WLFR. We are powered by AtlanticCityFocus.com, where you can see all kinds of great election coverage there each and every day, including by the end of the week we'll have our interview with Tim Alexander up that we did yesterday. We will be covering the elections and bringing you election coverage all the way up until the June 10th primary. Light time is 8:42, so you got roughly 15 minutes to be to work by 9 o'clock. We are here with Jerome Page, who is running for 2nd Ward councilman in the city of Pleasantville. Play what if with me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say that you secure your nomination in the June 10th primary.
Yes.
We're going to say that you win the general election in November.
Yes.
And of course, you're going to get me to DJ the party. No. But seriously, one day after the election, 6 months after the election, a year into your first term, what if anything is different about the city of Pleasantville? What if anything is different about the 2nd Ward?
Well, my platform is transparency and communications with the people of Pleasantville. I've seen many meetings, the council meetings, where many of the citizens come up to the mic, and for 2 years, 3 years, they complain about the same problem.
Wow.
The same problem. And the school system. You know, people want to move in Pleasantville, but if the school system is not working properly, they're not going to move in. They're not going to buy a home in Pleasantville. So soon as I get in, I want to form committees of people, of citizens, taxpayers, that can come together, say the former school board members that are still in Pleasantville.
Right.
Come together, sit at a table, and let's talk about the Pleasantville School District. Let's talk about the budget that they just passed. Let's talk about the things they said in public of what they're going to do with all this money. But let's make it accountable. The problem with Pleasantville School District is you have 9 new board members now. Okay, maybe 2 have been there, maybe 3 terms. But the problem is, if the board members don't go to workshops or training with the New Jersey School Boards Association, which I was a director for 2 terms, 3-year terms, two times, and we had to vote for things that helped the school districts in Atlantic County.
Right.
I will make sure that this committee that we form as a council will form, that they will come in and maybe put accountability on the board members elected. See, they're elected by the people, okay? But they get in there and they don't go to training. They don't do any type of training. They are only at the whim of the superintendent of the schools. Now the question is, why in the past 15, 20 years we've had over 22 superintendents? I have a plan for that.
That is an extraordinary question.
Yes, and the problem is, I got to tell you, I ran in 1995 for the school board, and I've learned. I went to school, got all the certifications. I got a master's, I got leadership, I got every type of certification being a sitting board member. Okay, and now what it is, we got to educate the board. See, now the board cannot run the district, but it's a thin line. The board has to make sure the district is run well. So how do you do that? You do it through policies and procedures. You create, where there's a problem in this district and there's no policy attached, you make a policy. The superintendent carries out the policy. And that's what the problem is within Pleasantville School District right now. They got teachers that come to work, they do their job, they try to teach that curriculum, but it's the system that has failed us. Okay? In 22, I sat down as a board president. We sat down and negotiated a contract, a fair contract with the teachers and support staff. First time in history, we gave the teachers a 5-year contract instead of a 3. Okay, so we can concentrate on our kids within that 5-year period. We separated the wage scale from support staff to teachers, professional teachers, meaning they both have their own wage scale and tier system.
Right.
Okay, this was done in 2022, when my last year as on the board. So there is success within the school district, but you got to have the board members educated. Listen, you're in education, so they should be educated too. Educated what? Educated of why they're sitting there as a board member and what their role is. It's not to listen to outside organizations telling them what to vote, how to vote, and whatever. It's not. Okay? I'm not going to mention names. I can't do that. But
can't do that.
But you said, what am I going to do? Those are the things I'm going to do, and not just with the school system, but the businesses up and down Pleasantville.
I was going to get to that.
The businesses up and down Pleasantville. I went into the businesses and talked to the owners.
Right.
Okay? The problem is, you got many people that want to do business in Pleasantville.
Right.
But there's so much red tape, there's so much rules and regulations, there's so much money that has to be given, that they turn around and say, no, I'll go somewhere else. Well, we got to stop that. And the council is in the position to change the rules of how people want to do business in Pleasantville.
Hold that thought. I'm going to change the tape.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.